Yeah, we play it all in none. Yeah, need it all in advance. The opposition know we're ready for it. Like a supper we eating, it won't be the last. Grind out the muscle, pull up. Parker right on the grass. We coming in, take over everything, run it up. Not that holding me back. 3 in the wood, rushing. I don't like Dutch, don't even matter, you know I'm facing. When I roll a paper, I like to go double. Run up a check, flip a W.
Welcome back to Takeover. Yes, I am back. Thank you for the birthday wishes. And you know, I really enjoyed the last episode, and you guys enjoyed it too. You liked it up. The views was high, but you know, the bully is back now. I know that episode was way too nice last week, but it was still a good episode. I enjoyed Josh's dad. Josh, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm good. It's nice to have the bully back, as you so eloquently put it. There's no other better way to describe you on this show. So we're glad to have you back. Glad to have you a year older, a year wiser. You know, the big 2-0, all great.
Yeah, so let's get into it, Josh.
All right. So first topic of the day. College football. We're getting to the end. We're at the pinnacle. Almost all the games have been played but one. OSU, Alabama. They're battling it out. Cam, where are we at? Who's taking it?
Okay, so let me start off with something before I say this take. I know 2 weeks ago, I said that Clemson was going to blow Ohio State out. That did not come true. But I do stand behind what I said about them deserving to be there. I don't think they deserve to be there. No matter how bad they beat Clemson, they didn't deserve to belong in that game. Of course they did because they won the game. But they deserve to be in that position? I don't think so. But going to this game, I've said it in the beginning of the season. I've been saying it through a lot of my football takes. Offense wins championships, and Bama has the best offense. His offense is really reminiscent of that last year's LSU offense. And you look at Bama's rankings on offense, they're number 1 in third down conversions. They're top 10 in red zone offense. They have over 6,000 yards of offense, and they average 8 yards per play. That's insane going off of there. You got to think about it. They're big three on offense. Mac Jones, Najee Harris, and Devontae Smith. They were all 3 Heisman candidates, all on one team, all on one side of the ball. That's going to be really tough to stop. Mac Jones, to me right now, is the most consistent quarterback in college football. Devontae Smith is the Heisman winner and is the best receiver in football. And I say that right now, Najee Harris will be the best running back on the field. That's going to be a lot to call for. But I think Bama's going to win this game off of the strength of their offense and their secondary. But I think it's more on the offensive side. It's not going to be between Najee Harris and Najee Harris, between Mac Jones and Devontae Smith. I think Najee Harris is going to be the hero of this game, believe it or not, because Ohio State, they have a top 5 ranking of the rush defense, but I don't think it'll really be I don't think they'll have the ability to pay attention to it as much because you have Mechie on one side. There's rumors of Waddle coming back, which is I don't know how far that's gonna go, but even if he's there as a decoy, that's something you have to respect. I feel like you won't be able to load the box, and then Najee Harris is going to have a field day with that Ohio State defense. And I think Sean Wade doesn't want those problems with Devontae Smith either. So I feel like they're going to be a little bit overmatched on offense. But as far as Bama's defense, I feel like Trey Sermons is going to run all over Alabama. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think Trey Sermons will have a game. So if Ohio State can depend on that to win the whole game, let it be. But I think Trey Sermons will run on Alabama, but I think they're going to make Ohio State one-dimensional, saying I think they'll be able to run, but they won't be able to pass. I think Surtain, Josh Jobe, Jordan Battle, they'll be ready for that Ohio State passing attack, and I think Alabama's going to win the game off of that.
Well, you covered it, so I'm going to have to cover it too. Yes, I did say that OSU should not have been in that game against Clemson. Do I regret saying that? Absolutely not, because they shouldn't have been. You can't play 6 games, barely beat Northwestern in the Big 10, Big 12, whatever, in their conference title game, and then become the number 3 team in the nation. Did Cincinnati lose to Georgia? Absolutely, but Cincinnati made a game of it. The only reason they lost was because they pulled their inner Atlanta Falcons out and found a way to just completely mismanage everything about the end of the game. So with that out of the way, congratulations to Ohio State and Bama for getting here. Let's be honest. This game is going to be a shootout. No defense will be played in this game. I wrote it down in my notes. The first team to 50 wins. That's how I'm looking at this game. Whoever scores 50 first is winning this game because OSU is 4th in the nation in yards per game, and Bama is 6th. Bama is 2nd in the nation in points per game, while OSU is 5th. So these are 2 top 5 offenses, and they're backed up by average defenses who tend to kind of go missing for periods of time. So to me, this game is going to come down to which defense gets more than 2 stops. Because the fact of the matter is, you're not going to actively slow down these offenses. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Alabama is going to do that or that OSU is going to do it. It's going to be which defense can come up big in a certain spot and which defense is going to get the one stop that you need to, put the game out of reach. And that's why I'm looking at Alabama, for the simple reason of Bama's got the secondary to shut this game down. They have arguably the best cornerback in college football in Patrick Surtain II. All the other guys you named, they have a fantastic secondary. And not only that, Justin Fields is hurt. So that passing attack might slow down a little bit with that rib injury. We don't really know. So put those 2 together, and Bama, I think, is better equipped to actively slow down the passing attack of OSU. Meanwhile, as you alluded to, nobody on the Ohio State defense, not a single soul, is going to be able to guard Devonta Smith. I'm predicting 10-plus catches, 200-plus yards, and at least 2 touchdowns, because that's what he's done to everybody. All right, he's lit up every single team that he has faced. He has faced NFL-caliber cornerbacks and lit them up. And Shaun Wade was getting first-round love last year, but we've seen this year he is a slot corner only. He cannot play outside the numbers. And that's what they're going to have to do if they're going to want to guard him. And there's nobody else on this team that I think can stop Devonta Smith. God forbid that Jaylen Waddle come back and looks healthy, because this might be looking at a 60-30 blowout, bro. Just be careful now. All right, Bama's taking this one. They're going to put another trophy on the mantle, and you can go ahead and lock that up.
I think this game is really going to be all about responses. If Ohio State wins this game, I feel like they're going to have to match Bama every score, because I feel like the way Bama's trending now, just the way that offense is, if you go 3 and out twice and they score twice, you may lose the game. Like, that's it. If you get to the red zone and kick a field goal, you might lose the game. That's it. Mm-hmm. You have
the first down to match the other team is going to be right behind the 8 ball.
It's going to lose the game, yeah.
It's going to be a struggle, man, but I'm here for it.
Sticking with football, the NFL playoffs is right around the corner. Josh, it's a lot going on right now, a lot of storylines. Who do you have coming out the AFC and NFC and inevitably meeting in that Super Bowl game?
All right, Super Bowl picks, always my favorite thing to do around here. So, because I'm typically wrong, but I'm going to be right this time. You just watch.
All right.
Starting with the AFC. This is the one that I look at, and I think that there are only 2 real contenders, right? It's either Kansas City or Buffalo, because the Indianapolis Colts have Phillip Rivers. I don't trust Phillip Rivers in the playoffs in any way, shape, or form. Cleveland is going to be missing their head coach for this first game, multiple other players, and their defense is absolutely atrocious. There's no way that they beat Pittsburgh. Baltimore, too inconsistent. I think they can pull out a first-round thing, but I don't think that they have the weapons to match the Kansas City Chiefs. The Titans' defense is suspect at every level. I'm not a big fan of their linebackers. They get absolutely no pressure, and their cornerbacks could be good, but because they don't get any pressure, they get exposed more often than not. And Pittsburgh, as we've seen, man, they have no run game. They're a predictable passing team. Their defense is starting to get ravaged by injuries quickly. I just don't think I think that they gassed out early. So I'm taking Kansas City out of the AFC. I know it's an easy pick. I know it's a basic pick, but when you have the best player in football at the most important position, it's very hard to pick against him. And on top of that, they're experienced in this regard. They have been to the playoffs multiple times. They've won a Super Bowl. Josh Allen was great this year, but last year in the playoffs, he had a 52.2% completion percentage, 264 yards, no touchdowns, and a 69.5 quarterback rating. Now, I know he's a different player, but I just don't think that I think that they got a year until they're ready for prime time. Moving to the NFC. This one's a lot harder because there's a lot more teams in this division, in this conference that I think could actually actively make a run. I don't think that there's one team that is overpowering everybody else. I think that whoever wins Green Bay versus Tampa in the second round, because I'm predicting Tampa to beat Washington because it's the NFC least. Whoever wins that, I think, is going to the Super Bowl. And for my money, I'm picking Tampa Bay and Terrific Tom. I'm a Tom Brady hater by trade, I know, but I just don't trust Green Bay's defense right now. They've been way too Jekyll and Hyde. They've shown up, but then they've disappeared. And Tampa's on a hot streak. They finished with like 4 or 5 wins. And when it comes down to it, right? Tampa has a good pass rush. Green Bay just lost David Bakhtiari, and the Packers have one guy to neutralize in the passing game, in Devontae Adams. Tampa Bay at full strength has 4. And I don't think that Green Bay is going to be able to do it. I think if everything works together, Tampa is starting to gel. There's no way they can slow down Godwin, Evans, AB, Gronk, all of them. I don't. So I'm going with Chiefs Bucks.
All right, so I'm gonna agree with you on the AFC. I feel like Aaron Rodgers definitely is the MVP, but the best player in football is still Patrick Mahomes. To me, he's the scariest thing I've seen to play quarterback since 2-minute drill time, and it's inevitable. It doesn't matter who they're playing. Sometimes they play down to the competition sometimes, but I feel like he always pulls through. 38 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He's mad efficient, and this team is just hard to guard. You got Tyreek Hill, you got Sammy Watkins. It's a lot of and you got a lot of people on the outside with just so much speed. How are you gonna guard all that? People forget they have Le'Veon Bell back there. I know he's had maybe a quiet season, but look, play zone coverage if you want to. Le'Veon Bell's gonna get yards, and that offense is gonna move. Andy Reid is a maestro. I feel like as much as people want to throw the Bills in there because they're really balanced, I feel like I'm taking Patrick Mahomes over anybody.
And plus, people sleep on the Kansas City defense.
They've gotten better.
It's not elite by any stretch of the imagination, but they've got Travarius Ward, Rashad Breeland, Tyrann Mathieu, Chris Jones. They've got pieces on that. Frank Clark. They got pieces on defense. They're still growing. I mean, they're not great, but they're definitely not bad. They're not anywhere near Cleveland's level.
And so for my NFC pick, I've processed this. This was the hardest one to me because I feel like this is a 2-team race. And 2 of these teams mirror each other very well. To me, it was between the Saints and the Green Bay Packers. These 2 teams, to me, are mirrors of each other. The inconsistencies, I see them on both sides. The strengths, I see them on both sides. But if I have to pick one team to come out of the NFC, it is no one other than the Green Bay Packers. I'm taking the Packers to come out of the NFC. And I feel like the Saints are gonna end up meeting the Packers, and they'll end up losing in the NFC Championship. I don't believe in the Bucs, like you said. I think this is a scary game for the Bucs. As much as you say Washington, they're gonna beat Washington. I don't know. Tom Brady versus the pressure isn't well. And as much as they have all those weapons, too many weapons in football does not really work out. There's only one football. There's only one there's an AB you got to feed. There's Gronk you got to feed. There's a lot of weapons. And they haven't really merged as well as you thought. As much as good of a collection of talent that offense is, they haven't really seemed it. They haven't really put the pressure on any good team to me that they could really beat. Like when they face team like the Saints, they haven't been able to be able to beat them. Are they going to beat the Green Bay Packers? I mean, you said their defense wasn't that good, but I think Zadarius Smith and the rest of the Smith brothers are going to be able to get pressure. Alexander's a great corner too. I feel like that's going to factor in. But back to it being the Saints and the Packers, I feel like if Drew Brees has to go all the way to Green Bay in that cold weather, as much as cold weather to me really doesn't mean anything, I feel like Aaron Rodgers will be able to push the ball further. I feel like you said they only have one weapon neutralized. I think Aaron Jones is another weapon that people have to neutralize. He's definitely made plays in the open field, and he's a great running back as well. And you said the defense wasn't able to shut down a lot. They shut down Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was shut down. They beat the Titans 40-17. They're able to shut down the run, and I feel like they can make teams one-dimensional. And if they can at least slow down teams enough, I feel like Aaron Rodgers will be able to lead the pack all the way to the Super Bowl.
I want to be fair. Just respond to a few things. I'm not discounting Aaron Jones. I didn't bring him up. I should have. When I said they have one guy to neutralize, I meant like in the passing game, like in terms of receivers. I know that they're going to have to worry about Aaron Jones, but they've got the defensive front for that because they've got JPP, Ndamukong Suh, Shaquille Barrett. They had Devin White, but he got COVID. So, and I'm with you on the Saints aren't going to go to the Super Bowl because, you know, it's the Saints, man. We're in the time of the month where the Saints finally join the rest of us, and they find magical ways to lose playoff games, whether it's a missed tackle or a lame duck interception in overtime leading to a 62-yard field goal, or a back of the end zone fade to an aging tight ends. Either way, Saints are going to find a way to lose.
I mean, I look. I'm pretty sure you had fun with that whole side take you just did, but I mean, to me, it's tough between Green Bay and the Saints because when the Saints are healthy, they've lost to no one, and I feel like that has to be there
But
because
are they
when
healthy
Michael
though?
Thomas
That's
plays,
the
when
question.
Kamara
Is New Orleans
plays, when
healthy?
Brees plays,
Is New Orleans
see,
healthy? Is Drew Brees feeling
they have not lost.
100%? Is Michael Thomas going to be back? Is everybody
He
going to
is,
be back? Are
yeah.
We don't know if the Saints are healthy. So, but either way, even if they are healthy, man, even if they are, they're the
It's
Saints.
something to see. It's something to see, but I'll definitely take Green Bay and the Chiefs. Both number one seeds will meet each other at the end
Okay.
of the game.
Okay. Malik, finally, after weeks of prodding, weeks of pleas from me on this show, you've sent in your take. You've sent it in. Let's play it so that everybody can hear what Malik has to say.
Good morning, Takeover. You know, this is Malik from Powder Springs. I was here to respond for my boy Josh. Josh called me out a couple episodes ago. So, this video was long overdue, so I had to respond. It was a must. So, I'm responding to Josh's video a couple days ago. He was talking about how he believes the best fit for Russell Westbrook before he got traded was to go to the Golden State Warriors. So I completely disagree. I think it was a bad take. I don't think Russell Westbrook is the best fit for the Warriors. He would just mess up the chemistry. Chemistry wouldn't be right. They would have to change their whole entire offense because, when a player like Russell comes into the team, it's going to change the whole dynamic of the team. Don't think it's the right fit. I think it would be too much for the Warriors to have to change and fix. So this is why I thought that Russell should be best fit with the Knicks. Knicks is already, a trash team. Now, yes, this will be kind of tough on Russ, but, Russ is a winner.
Okay. So first of all, let me cover this. It's a moot point right now because Russell Westbrook's already been traded. And the season's already started, and he's already played for Washington, or he's playing for Washington right now. But going back to the context of that discussion, you are completely, totally wrong, sir, and this is why. And let me explain why I said Golden State. I thought I did in the episode, but I'm going to do it now. Russell Westbrook is a dominating athletic force. There's no questioning that. When Russell Westbrook is a head of steam going to the rim, very few human beings, past or present, can truly stop him. All right, his sheer relentless ability to get to the rim is insane. He cannot shoot, but he can absolutely out-hustle, out-muscle almost anybody at his position. So the reason he would work better in Golden State, arguably, I think anywhere else. First of all, when I did this take, it was congruent on Klay Thompson being healthy. Now that Klay Thompson's hurt, it doesn't look as good. But put Russell Westbrook on the Warriors with Steph, and when I said it, a healthy Klay Thompson. He has two of the greatest shooters of all time to take attention away from him. We saw when he first went to Houston, if you don't surround him with shooters, you can cheat off, you can help, whatever, and it gums up all the half-court offense for everybody. So you have to have shooters around him. It's similar to what they do with LeBron James. Give him someone to kick out to and make it to where they have to stick to their man so they can't help down on a driving Westbrook. So Westbrook gets it one-on-one to the rim, or if somebody helps down, he can kick it out. So now you have Klay Thompson, you have Steph Curry, and Steph Curry off the ball is arguably more dangerous than Steph Curry on the ball, depending on what's going on. James Wiseman has actually looked like a relatively decent shooter in the limited sample size. And Draymond Green, in this case, I'm banking on all the open looks that he would eventually get because he would be the one non-shooter. I'm banking on that upping his percentages just a little bit. So that's why Golden State would be a better fit. Now, you say the New York Knicks, they're the wrong fit they're the exact opposite of the Warriors. They have no shooting. Mitchell Robinson is basically the next version of Clint Capella. And they traded Clint Capella to make room for Westbrook. So what's the point here, man? RJ Barrett can't shoot. Emmanuel quickly right now is the only person on that team that looks like an active threat from outside the arc. So the New York Knicks would not have been a good fit for him. It would have been great because there would have been nobody else competing with him for touches, but that would not be good for the overall team, and they probably would have missed the playoffs. I stand by my point of the Warriors.
Well, this is your fight. Like I said, it was a crazy take. Kind of makes sense, but I mean, the Knicks doesn't like it. It would have worked anyway. So, he's on the Wizards now. I hate that you sent the take so late. Can we send the takes on time if you're going to address it?
I've been saying, hey, listen, no, I tried.
All right, but that's going to close out our episode for today. Josh, do you have anything else to say?
If you want to be featured on the show, you want to get your opinion out there, because I know a lot of you I have these conversations with all of y'all. If you want to be featured on the show, send us a take. We're not going to do you as dirty as we did our boy Malik here. I promise you, we will be a little bit more civil, and we can have a conversation here. All right, tell us why you think we're wrong, or give us a whole nother thing to talk about, and then we'll weigh in, because we want to interact with you guys. All right, we want to interact more with the fans, because that's what really drives sports in general, is the conversation between fan to fan, fandom to fandom. Community, it's the sense of community that we have. So we want to make y'all feel like you're part of this show. It's not just you watching us, it's you watching us and then chiming in.
Yeah, you guys definitely send your takes. We'll be glad to talk about them. This may be one of our last virtual episodes, because by the next time we might be back at school, back at the old thing.
So I'm scheduled to leave in like 3 days.
I know, right? It's almost that time. But thank you guys for continuing to watch the show and support the show. Make sure you like and subscribe it. Takeover out. And Saints fans, I hope that I'm wrong. Hey, champ.
Yeah, we play it all in night. Yeah, need it all in advance. The opposition know we're ready for it. Like a supper we eating, it won't be the last. Grind out the muscle, pull up. Parker right on the grass. We coming in, take over everything, run it up. Nothing holding me back. 3 in the wood, rushing. I don't like Dutch, don't even matter, you know I'm a face. And when I roll a paper, I like to go double. Run up a